Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, Macmillan Library AF, which stands for Absolutely Fabulous Picks, Adult NYA, from winter, spring, and fall 2020. I'm Donna Seaman, the editor for adult books at Booklist. Before we begin, I would like to go over some technical details. To resize the slides, look to the magnifying glass icons located to the left of the slides. There you can increase or decrease the size and select how you'd like the slides to appear. If you lose audio or would like to change the way you're connected to it, look at the bottom of your screen for a circle with 3 dots. Clicking that icon will open a menu with an audio connection option. The audience is in listen-only mode, but we welcome any questions you may have. On the right side of your screen is the control panel with an area at the bottom for Q&A. Simply type your question into the field and click Send. The attendees can see the question asked during the webinar and the answers provided. Links to today's slides and title list were sent directly to you from WebEx at the start of the webinar, but you can also download them at any time by copying the URLs on this screen into your web browser. Monday, all attendees will receive a follow-up email containing links to today's slide presentation, title list, certificate of completion, and video recording. Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from a fantastic group of presenters. Let me introduce each of them. Talia Scherer, as Senior Director of Library Market, Talia coordinates the library marketing activities of Macmillan's adult publishers. And what a lineup it is. They include St. Martin's Press, Henry Holt, Tor Forge, Minotaur, Picador, that's like a poem in there, Farrar, Straus and Giroux, Flatiron Books, and Celadon. Talia was chair of the Association of American Publishers Trade Libraries Committee for 4 years, and she was very proud to be named a 2010 Library Journal Mover and Shaker. Welcome, Talia. We have Amanda Roundtree presenting. Amanda is Assistant Digital Media Manager for Library Marketing. After saying farewell to her home state of Georgia and attending NYU's Summer Publishing Institute, Amanda spent 4 years under the tutelage of the amazing Virginia Stanley at HarperCollins, indeed, before joining Macmillan and eventually making her way back to her forever home in library marketing. A longtime lover of libraries, Amanda is excited to share her passion for all things fantasy, sci-fi, romance, and horror, but she'll read anything that comes with a good recommendation. Emily Day is the Library Marketing Coordinator and YA Specialist at Macmillan. She has a Master of Arts degree in Children's Literature and spends her free time reading, mostly YA, running and cuddling with cats. You can read her candid YA reviews on the Days YA section of MacmillanLibrary.com. And we have Samantha Slavin. Samantha is the Library Marketing Assistant. After spending 4 years eating her way through New Orleans, indeed, working in New Orleans tourism and marketing, and at a library publicity firm, she found her way back home to New York City. Samantha can always be found curled up somewhere with a book or exploring the branches of the NYPL. Whether it's a memoir, a mystery, or historical fiction, Samantha takes her yearly reading challenge very seriously and is always making book recommendation lists for friends. A big welcome to you all. Let's get started.
Hi, everyone. This is Emily Day. To start us off, here are all of the various ways you can get in touch with us. And we love to hear from librarians, so please feel free to reach out with any questions. If you'd like to read Macmillan e-galleys on Edelweiss, here is how you can do that. These instructions can also be found on our website. And for those of you who participate in library reads, thank you. If you don't know about library reads, it's a monthly list of top 10 books voted on by you. And you can find more information about library reads and how to participate on our website. And now I'm going to start us off with some YA titles from Wednesday Books and Flatiron Books. It Sounded Better in My Head by Nina Kenwood. When her parents announce their impending divorce, Natalie can't understand why no one is upset. Then Zach and Lucy, her two best friends, hook up, leaving her feeling a little annoyed and a little bit awkward, especially since she always imagined she would end up with Zach one day. Now everything has changed and nothing is quite making sense, until she falls for someone she never expected to and things become even more chaotic. This debut is laugh out loud funny, but it's also a really tender and joyful novel about longing, confusion, feeling left out, and finding out what really matters. LOBIZONA by Romina Garber. In this Argentine folklore-inspired novel, Romina Garber weaves a tale filled with magic and romance and, wait for it, werewolves. Yes, that's right, y'all. Werewolves are back. This is the story about 16-year-old Manuela. She's an undocumented immigrant from Argentina, and she's on the run, trying to escape deportation. Her journey takes her from Miami to a secret world of folklore where witches and werewolves roam as she discovers the truth about who she is. More Than Maybe by Erin Hahn. From the author of You'd Be Mine comes an adorable, awkward, falling-in-like story. Luke is the son of a former punk rocker and wants absolutely nothing to do with his dad's fame. Veda is a music blogger with her 5-year plan on lock, and they've both managed to fall for each other without the other one knowing. Prepare yourselves for a swoony love story that packs an emotional punch. Girl, Serpent, Thorn by Melissa Bashardoust. From the author of my all-time favorite YA fantasy, Girls Made of Snow and Glass, comes a captivating tale inspired by Persian mythology about a girl cursed to be poisonous to the touch. Girl, Serpent, Thorn follows Soraya's journey from living in shame to understanding her power. There are twists and surprises at every turn, and let me tell you, you will never see them coming. And to top it all off, the writing is absolutely gorgeous. Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. Imagine Phantom of the Opera meets Moulin Rouge meets Caraval, and now you have Where Dreams Descend. It's an immersive debut fantasy about a star showgirl who must win a dangerous magician's competition in order to secure her freedom. With a diverse cast of characters and lush world building, Where Dreams Descend is one you definitely won't want to miss. The Mall by Megan McCafferty. Picture it. The year is 1991. Scrunchies, mixtapes, and 90210 are like totally fresh. Cassie knows exactly how she's going to spend her summer. She's going to work at America's Best Cookie with her boyfriend for the next 6 weeks, and then the two of them are going to move to New York for college. It's the plan. At least, it was the plan. Until a bad case of mono turns everything upside down, and Cassie finds herself on a wild treasure hunt through every corner of the mall. What follows is a laugh-out-loud coming-of-age story with enough 90s references to take you back to frosted tips and flannel shirts. What Unbreakable Looks Like by Kate McLaughlin. Lex was taken, trafficked, and now she's Poppy. Kept in a hotel with other girls, her old life is a distant memory. But when the girls are rescued, she doesn't quite know how to become Lex again. She realizes she has the power to help others, but first she'll have to confront the monsters of her past with the help of family, friends, and a new love. This is a brave, uplifting novel about facing trauma and finding yourself again. Mayhem by Estelle Laure. Mayhem Brayburn is next in line to inherit the magic that runs through the female lineage in her family. But her life takes a dangerous turn when she starts searching for the man who has been kidnapping local girls. This is The Lost Boys meets Sadie with a pinch of 80s nostalgia, a splash of supernatural powers, and a generous spoonful of young women smashing the patriarchy. Fable by Adrienne Young. First, there was Elin, the Viking warrior in Sky in the Deep. Then there was Tova, the powerful truth tongue in The Girl the Sea Gave Back. And now let me introduce you to Fable. She lives in a world made dangerous by the sea and by those who wish to profit from it, but the sea is the only home she's ever known. Now she must find her place and her family while trying to survive in a world built for men. Fable is filled with all the action, emotion, and lyrical writing that you love from Adrienne Young. The Insomniacs by Marit Weisenberg. Part love story, part eerie suspense, The Insomniacs is a sharp and unsettling contemporary romance debut about two teens who can't sleep, uncovering the secrets of the neighborhood by night. Ingrid hasn't been able to sleep since the day she fell off the high dive and got a concussion, and she can't remember anything about the incident. Van, Ingrid's neighbor, former best friend, and forever crush, also has trouble sleeping. So they start not sleeping together as they work to piece Ingrid's memory back together and discover some unsettling secrets along the way. The Silvered Serpents by Roshani Chokshi. Roshani Chokshi has returned to the dark and glamorous world of the Gilded Wolves with this dazzling sequel. Severin and his team are once again on the hunt for an ancient artifact, but they're also desperate to make amends for what they lost in Paris. This time, their journey takes them to Russia, where they hunt for a long-lost artifact rumored to grant the power of God. The stakes are higher, the action is more intense, and the characters will break your heart and put it back together again. And it now has 3 starred reviews, with School Library Journal calling it the sleeker, smarter, sharper, and bloodier follow-up that fans of the Gilded Wolves deserve. Hush by Dylan Farrow. From activist Dylan Farrow comes a sweeping new fantasy set in a unique and terrifying world where those in power have the magic to control and silence the truth. 17-year-old Shay fears she may be cursed after the death of her brother, but when her mother is killed, Shay suspects foul play and sets her sights on justice. Hush is a powerful feminist fantasy full of twists that casts a ray of light into the shadows of a society based on silencing and manipulation, and it is perfect for fans of The Hazelwood, The Gracier, and The Handmaid's Tale. A Golden Fury by Samantha Cohoe. This debut from Samantha Cohoe is set in 18th century Oxford in a dangerous world of alchemy and betrayal. Thea Hope dreams of following in her alchemist mother's footsteps, and the pair are close to creating the Philosopher's Stone, which grants the possessor immortality and the power to turn any metal into gold. But when Thea's mother suddenly destroys the stone, Thea learns that the stone is cursed, and anyone who tries to create it will lose their sanity. Thea is sent to Oxford for her safety to live with her father, who doesn't know she exists, and she soon must figure out how to save the people she loves without destroying herself in the process. And now for a few titles from our distribution publishers. First up, from Wattpad Books, is The Invincible Summer of Juniper Jones by Davin McQueen. This is a really sweet coming-of-age story set in 1950s Alabama. When Ethan Harper, a biracial kid mostly raised by his white father, is sent to spend the summer with his aunt and uncle in small-town Alabama, his race is suddenly front and center in a way he's never experienced, and it's made very clear that he is not welcome there. Then he meets Juniper Jones, and she's everything the townspeople aren't: open, kind, and accepting. Together, Ethan and Juniper spend their summer finding their place in a town that is hell-bent on rejecting them and teaching each other more than they ever imagined possible. Next, from Page Street, is The Henna Wars by Adiba Jagardar. This sweet and funny debut rom-com tells the story of 2 teen girls who both start up rival henna businesses as part of a school project. Amidst sabotage and school stress, their lives get tangled, and then even more tangled when a crush develops between them. The Henna Wars is when Dimple met Rishi meets Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda and is sure to tug on your heartstrings. Also from Page Street is The Life and Medieval Times of Kit Sweetly. Kit works as a wench at a medieval times restaurant near Chicago, and she has big dreams of being a knight and performing during the show, but company policy says that girls can't be knights. Kit refuses to accept that, so she secretly takes her brother's place during a show and reveals her identity after, only to find herself in big trouble with management and launching her into sudden internet fame as the Girl Knight. This is a hilarious and empowering feminist tale, and you'll be cheering for Kit and her friends as they fight for their right to be knights. And last but not least is Crave by Tracy Wolff from Entangled Teen. I'm sure many of you have lots of opinions about Team Edward or Team Jacob, but now there's a new vampire to root for, Jackson Vega. Crave is a paranormal vampire romance for a new generation, featuring a relatable feminist heroine, a swoony bad boy hero, and the epic and dangerous romance between them. This stunning love story is perfect for fans of Cassandra Clare, Victoria Aveyard, and Stephanie Garber, and of course, Twilight. Be sure to check out my reviews of our YA titles at Days YA on our website. And that's it from me. Now to Samantha for some adult titles.
So our first adult title is Luster by Raven Leilani. This is the story of a young Black woman who becomes tangled in the lives of her new older lover, his wife, and their daughter, all while trying to cope and understand her own family life. But what makes this debut so great is the sharp social commentary, the beautiful, biting, and poignant descriptions of being a woman, of being Black, of being young and struggling, of being an artist in America. There's some part of Luster that everyone can find relatable. It has become a departmental favorite of ours and has some very quotable lines. It's great for fans of My Year of Rest and Relaxation and Sally Rooney. The Book of V by Anna Solomon is for readers of The Hours and Fates and Furies. It's the intertwining lives of three women across 3 centuries. We have Queen Esther, a 1950s senator's wife and a modern-day Brooklyn mom. There are 3 strong women all dealing with the overpowering men in their lives, the secrets they must keep, infidelity, and freedom. All 3 of the women's stories are equally as captivating and mesmerizing, and the way that they all come together in the end will leave you speechless. The Second Home by Christina Clancy is a debut that has it all. This book may take place at an adorable beach home, but it has all the dark twists that the beach typically doesn't. During one summer in high school, when sisters Anne and Poppy take their newly adopted brother to their beach house for the first time as a family, the summer ends in pure destruction. Now, 15 years later, they have to come together and decide what to do with the house that they loved. As a lover of dark and twisted fiction, this is a story that I could have read forever. You become so attached to the characters, their journeys, and relationships. It's great for readers of The Guest Book and Cape May. The Eighth Detective by Alex Pavesi is a debut from a mathematician and software engineer. We all know that murder mysteries must have 3 things: a victim, a suspect, and a detective. The rest is left to the author's creativity. That is exactly what The Eighth Detective proves. It has 7 detective stories, all seemingly perfectly calculated, but with some inconsistencies, and they all add up to one giant work of mystery and literature. It shows exactly what ingredients go into making the perfect mystery. Hollywood Park by Mikkel Jolet. If you are going to read one memoir this year, make it Hollywood Park. Mikkel Jolet was born into a cult. He grows up in a broken childhood and writes his story with such eloquence and detail that you can't not cry when he cries and laugh out loud with him at his truly one-of-a-kind memories. He came to speak at the Macmillan office, and he is as captivating and amazing as his book is. No matter what kind of reader someone is or what genre they tend to stick to, this book has something for everyone. The Jane Austen Society by Natalie Jenner is a historical fiction debut set in England after World War II, in Jane Austen's hometown. A group of very different people are brought together by their mutual love of Austen, and they plan to help preserve what's left of her threatened legacy. A Library Journal starred review calls it a must-purchase for libraries of all summers. It's perfect for fans of the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society or the Little Paris Bookshop. Now to Paris, we have Paris Never Leaves You by Ellen Feldman. Ellen Feldman, author of Terrible Virtue and The Boy Who Loved Anne Frank, is back with more historical fiction. This is not just another World War II novel. This one is in Paris. It has a Paris bookshop and the clubby elegance of 1950s New York City. It's about a mother and daughter settling into the Upper East Side of Manhattan after living through World War II in Paris. It's filled with love and resilience, and there are impossible choices to be made. The Paris Hours by Alex George. From beloved author of A Good American and Setting Free the Kites, BookFest founder and bookshop owner comes The Paris Hours. With a beautiful and detailed Paris backdrop, we have 4 stories about vastly different people. We have Marcel Proust's maid, a puppeteer with the most touching past, a journalist searching for something that is not there, and a man running from debt. But the one thing that they do have in common is they're all trying to fix their pasts. Hand this to anyone who likes The Night Tiger and All the Light We Cannot See. What You Wish For by Catherine Center. From the beloved author of How to Walk Away and the Library Reads Pick Things You Save in a Fire comes What You Wish For. This is the story of a school librarian, Sam, with a conundrum. Her long-ago crush turns out to be the new school principal where she works, which is the best thing that could happen to the school, but the worst thing that could happen to Sam. They knew each other when they were both very different people, but what happens when they are faced with finding their way to who they really are? This is a book filled with unforgettable characters, love, hope, and second chances. Other People's Pets by R.L. Mazes. When you relate better to animals than humans and have a locksmith/thief for a father, there is only one reasonable path for you to take in life. Go to vet school and then start robbing houses to pay your father's legal fees. And that is exactly what Lala Fine does. The reviews for this book all have one word in common: remarkable. Other People's Pets is for fans of A Dog's Way Home. Pelosi by Molly Ball. 2020 is the 100th anniversary of women's right to vote, so naturally we have a fierce female biography. Molly Ball is an award-winning political journalist and brings a fresh perspective on one of the most powerful elected women in office in American history. And this is the first Pelosi biography in a decade and the first one ever written by a woman. This is a timely and inspiring political book with a deeper understanding of Nancy Pelosi and how she became an icon for the women's movement, and people are granting her RBG status now. The Night Swim by Megan Golden. Who remembers the Library Reads Pick the Escape Room? Because Megan Golden is back. The Night Swim is about a true crime podcast, so all the serial lovers and Making a Murderer watchers out there rejoice. The Night Swim follows the podcast host. The first season was an overnight sensation and set an innocent man free. The third season isn't quite the same, but the host finds a small-town rape trial to analyze. She then finds a cryptic note on her windshield asking for help. The notes keep coming, and she realizes they might be related to her own sister's death. Hand this to Alice Feeney and B.A. Paris readers.
Thank you, Samantha. This is Talia. And my first title is Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier, from the author of Thriller Fest Best Novel and Anthony Award winner Jar of Hearts. A young mom turns her head for 1 second and her kid is gone. The FBI can't find anything. A year later, she hires a PI and finds out that her husband is having an affair. But does the mistress know about their missing son? Nemesis Manifesto by Eric Van Lustbader. New series alert, y'all. From the man who introduced you to Jason Bourne, you've got Evan Ryder, who lives in a world of social media bots, information manipulation, political corruption, and Russian meddling. Wow, this sounds so familiar. This is for fans of Steve Barry and Lee Child. Of Mutts and Men by Spencer Quinn. Listen up, dog and mystery lovers. Here you've got a mystery told from the perspective of a dog. This beloved series received fantastic star reviews and blurbs from Mystery Hall of Famers, including Stephen King. Chet the dog is the most lovable narrator in crime fiction, and he is back with his human partner, Bernie. The Safe Place by Anna Downs. In this debut, Emily loses her acting agent, her temp job, and gets evicted from her apartment. Scott, an enigmatic CEO with a big problem of his own, meets Emily and thinks she's perfect for what he has in mind. He offers her a job at his French estate to help his wife Nina and strange daughter Amelia. But this family has dangerous secrets for readers of The Other Woman and The Mother-in-Law. A Royal Affair by Alison Montclair. The sequel to the much-adored PW and Kirkus starred review The Right Sort of Man. The proprietors of the startup, The Right Sort Marriage Bureau, are drafted to check out rumors regarding the Greek prince of great interest to Princess Elizabeth. Take Me Apart by Sarah Sligar. A famed photographer passed away mysteriously at the height of her career. Decades later, her son hires ex-journalist Kate to archive his mother's work. As Kate pieces together a portrait of an artist buckling under the pressures of ambition, motherhood and marriage. She must navigate vicious local rumors and her growing attraction to the man that hired her. This is We Need to Talk About Kevin, meets Girl on the Train, meets My Year of Rest and Relaxation, meets Whisper Network. Got it? Imperfect Women by Erin Hall. From Library Reads author of Our Kind of Cruelty, you've got a fascinating, flawed females with buried and festering secrets. This is less Gillian Flynn and more Leon Moriarty. This is friendship, this is grief, this is murder. 9 perfect strangers crossed with all we ever wanted. And now, The Shadows, or Doze in the Shadows. Shadows. I hope you can hear the shallows in the background. Sorry, it's Friday. So this is The Shadows by Alex North. Alex North does it again. Set in the same world as The Whisper Man, The Shadows is filled with gruesome murder. Check. Ghostly figures in the woods. Check. And 2 murderous teenagers. Maybe? This is Stranger Things times Stephen King's The Outsider. The Unwilling by John Hart. New York Times bestselling author and 2-time Edgar Award winner John Hart is back. Home from Vietnam in a prison stint, Jason wants to reconnect with baby bro Gibby. Women, whiskey, 1 murder, and 1 kidnapping later, and now both brothers are suspects. Ruh-roh. All the Devils Are Here. This is a new author that none of you have ever heard of. I'm just kidding. I thank Samantha for that joke. Happy Sweet 16 to the Inspector Gamache series. Gamache is in Paris. The Darkest Evening by Ann Cleves. New York Times bestselling and award-winning author Ann Cleves is here with the 9th book in the Vera Stanhope series. This book finds Vera investigating a murder at her estranged family's home. Cue the snowstorm, a car skidding off the road, no driver, but a toddler strapped in the back seat. One Last Lie by Edgar Award finalist Paul Doiron. I love Paul Doiron. I've been saying this for years. Yes, he's perfect for fans of CJ Box, but he's also great for anyone who likes any kind of mystery. This stars Mike Bowditch, who's a game warden, and in this episode, he goes in search of his missing mentor, Charlie, in the 1,000 miles of forest along the Maine-Canada border. These are so good, so atmospheric. The relationships are real. Please, for the love of all that is holy, give Paul Doiron a try. And now, I would love to turn this over to Amanda.
Hi, everyone. Amanda Roundtree here to close us out for the day. Network Effect by Martha Wells. The people wanted more Murderbot, and we're giving them more Murderbot. You know that feeling when you're at work and you've had enough of people, and then the boss walks in with yet another job that needs to be done right this second or the world will end, but all you want to do is go home and binge your favorite shows, and you're a sentient murder machine programmed for destruction? Congratulations, you're Murderbot. The Murderbot Diaries has won the Locus, Alex, Nebula, and Hugo Awards, and now everyone's favorite depressed introvert AI is back in its first full-length novel. Come for the pew-pew space battles, stay for the most relatable AI you'll read this century. PW's star review of Network Effect says, series fans and anyone who enjoys humor-infused space operas won't want to miss this. And we're excited that this full-length novel will bring in a whole new crop of readers to this emotionally insightful, thoughtful science fiction that still has plenty of explosions and gunfights. The Last Emperor by John Scalzi, the thrilling conclusion to the award-winning, best-selling Interdependency series following the collapsing empire and the consuming fire. The Last Emperor continues to follow the exploits of an intergalactic empire of human colonies at the brink of unraveling in a space opera adventure, perfect for fans of Scalzi's own Old Man's War, but also the more mainstream fans of sci-fi's The Expanse or the movie The Martian. Scalzi's books are also great because they are highly accessible to readers who only occasionally dip into science fiction while still having the epic space opera feel that dedicated sci-fi fans love. And I know many people are excited for this finale that already has 2-star reviews. Deal with the Devil by best-selling author duo Kit Rocha. This is the first book in a new post-apocalyptic sci-fi series with the best hook, Mercenary Librarians. America is crumbling, and Nina and her team of mercenary librarians use their knowledge to save the hopeless. Enter Knox, captain of a squad of AWOL super soldiers just trying to survive. And they could save the world if they don't destroy each other in the process. With plenty of romance and action in a gritty dystopian landscape, I think this will be great for fans of Gail Carriger and Genevieve Cogman. Trouble the Saints by Elia Dawn Johnson. The dangerous magic of the night circus meets the powerful historical exploration of the Underground Railroad in this timely and unsettling novel, set against the darkly glamorous backdrop of New York City, where an assassin tries to fight her fate at the dawn of World War II. This book combines a magical love story and a compelling exposure of racial fault lines with a Gaiman-esque twist of fantastical storytelling. Trouble the Saints is a Library Journal editor's pick for spring 2020, while PW says fans of challenging, diverse fantasy will enjoy this literary firecracker. The Sin and the Steel by Ryan Van Loan, a debut fantasy with dead gods, a pirate queen, shape-shifting mages, and a Sherlockian teenager determined to upend her society. Buck is a former street rat. Eld is an ex-soldier, and they are partners in crime solving until they are wrongly accused of a crime and forced to investigate something that will change their world forever. This is the first in a series, and it is just totally action-packed with great diverse characters. Passionate world building and historical aspects meets science fiction thrills and an ensemble cast in best-selling author Kate Elliott's Unconquerable Sun, a gender-swapped space opera inspired by Alexander the Great. Political enemies need Princess Sun removed from her spot as heir to the Empire, and to survive, the princess must rely on her wits and companions, her biggest rival, her secret lover, and a dangerous prisoner of war. Take the brilliance and cunning courage of Princess Leia, add in a dazzling futuristic setting where pop culture and propaganda are one and the same, and hold on tight. The Switch by Beth O'Leary, the author of The Flat Share, which was just so good. That was her debut, and it got multiple star reviews, was a Library Reads pick, the Russo Reading List winner in romance, and got so much love during the hashtag LibFaves19 Twitter Fest last year. So now we get her follow-up about a grandmother and granddaughter who decide to switch lives after the granddaughter has a panic attack at work. And it is just as charming and heartwarming and delightfully British as you'd imagine, as it explores dealing with grief, seizing the life you want, finding yourself, and trying new things. And of course, there may be a little romance in store for each of our protagonists. Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey. Set in the very near future when climate change has finally caused mass extinctions for many animals, this novel follows a woman who has tracked down what is believed to be the last flock of Arctic terns and decides to follow them on what may be their final migration from the Arctic all the way to Antarctica. She finagles her way onto a fishing vessel and convinces them to follow the flight path. And along the way, we slowly tease out her secrets and dark past to find out what she's really running from and running towards. It has absolutely gorgeous writing about an extremely timely subject, and with such a fierce and fragile narrator, this book will resonate on so many levels and will be perfect for fans of Flight Behavior and Station 11. Olive the Lionheart by Brad Ricca, the true story of a woman's quest to Africa in 1910 to find her missing fiancé through jungles, swamps, cities, and deserts, where she comes to confront the darkness that is shadowy colonial powers and warlords, but also confront the truth of why she journeyed to Africa in the first place. This biography draws on Olive's own letters and secret diaries to tell this never before told true adventure of a woman not content to stay behind. Okay, guys, Harrow the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I could gush about this book and this series for literally 20 minutes if they let me, so here goes my attempt at being succinct. I hope you all heard about the amazing debut last fall, Gideon the Ninth. 4-star reviews and best of lists galore. Harrow the Ninth picks up immediately following the events of Gideon with our favorite necromancer in the halls of the Emperor's spaceship palace, where her health is failing, her magic refuses to cooperate, her sword makes her throw up, and even her mind threatens to betray her, all while someone is trying to kill her. Harrow the Ninth already has 2-star reviews, with Library Journal saying, an incredible journey into the chaos of the mind. Muir's latest doubles down on all the wonderfully queer and pulpy moments, body horror, and macabre humor of her debut, and exceeds it. The author is truly doing something unique here with her writing and her plotting style across the trilogy, and I really urge all readers everywhere to dive right in. And okay, I'm going to stop talking now, at least about Harrow. Crossings by Alex Lindragan. This one is a little bit complicated, but bear with me. Crossings is a genre-bending debut, a novel in 3 parts designed to be read in 2 different orders, spanning 150 years and 7 lifetimes. We start in Paris on the eve of Nazi occupation, when a bookbinder discovers a manuscript called Crossings with 3 narratives. Each of the parts is sort of like a short story, but as you read, the stunning connections between these seemingly disparate people grow clearer and more extraordinary. Readers of literary history will find lots to love here, but it's also a combination of Cloud Atlas meets Life After Life meets House of Leaves. Crossings truly defies most reading conventions. This is really a book you'll continue to think about and savor long after you've read it. The Half-Sister by Sandy Jones, author of the Reese Witherspoon Hello Sunshine Book Club pick and Library Reads pick, The Other Woman. She is just so good at fast-paced domestic suspense, and here we meet a family, 2 sisters who are always there for each other, and their mom. The father had recently passed away. One day, during their weekly Sunday brunch, a stranger knocks on the door claiming to be their half-sister, the child of their deceased father. And now it's clear this family isn't as perfect as they thought. As the fallout continues, only one thing is certain. Their half-sister's arrival has ruined everything. Under Pressure by Robert Poby. This is the 2nd novel featuring Dr. Lucas Page, astrophysicist, math genius, and former FBI agent. Here Page is drawn back in again when an explosion in New York City kills over 700 people, and they need the extra computational power he can provide. While everyone is crying terrorism, Page is convinced that there are more sinister motives afoot. Fans of Jeffrey Deaver's Lincoln Rhyme novels and David Baldacci's Amos Decker books will enjoy this new series and its reluctant but very impressive protagonist. If you love genre fiction as much as I do, or if you're ready to try something new, my new Genre for All column is definitely the place to start. We just launched this week, and we'll have exclusive content, giveaways, recommendations, and more, all focused on fantasy, sci-fi, romance, and horror. So I hope you'll turn into our website to learn more. And that is it for today. Thank you for joining us to hear about some of our exciting books coming out this year. If you saw anything you liked, please feel free to reach out to request an ARC. We look forward to hearing from you, and happy reading.
Well, wow, that was exciting, wonderful. We even had sound effects. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Talia, Amanda, Emily, and Samantha. And tomorrow, all attendees will receive an email containing links to today's slide presentation, title list, certificate of completion, and video recording. For more about Booklist webinars, be sure to visit booklistonline.com/webinars, where you can view archives of past webinars and register for upcoming programs. If you haven't already, please be sure to visit the Booklist Reader, where Booklist contributors post daily things about all things books and library land. Really lots of tremendous material there, I have to say, and I'm not biased, not at all. Booklist has a digital edition of the magazine, which you can connect to your subscription online. This format pairs the page-by-page reading experience of print with the convenience of online access, and it is included free with all Booklist subscriptions. Not yet a subscriber? Join us. Please take advantage of this special webinar offer to get print, online, digital, and archive access to Booklist for only $99. Tired of waiting to see the latest copy of Booklist with that long routing list? Or worrying it might get misplaced on its way to you? You can now purchase an extra copy for your library for just $50. To learn more, please visit, is there it on here? No, yes, it's at the bottom. Please visit bit.ly, Booklist for $50. It's a really tremendous offer. Thank you so much for joining us for today's exciting webinar, all those great books. One more thank you to all our enthusiastic panelists and our sponsor, Macmillan Publishers. This concludes today's webinar.